What's up everyone, and welcome back to the MMA Dance. Today, let's get started with Conor McGregor demanding that the Max Holloway fight be overturned. It looks like now that Conor has had some time to settle into what happened at UFC 329, he believes that because of his injury, the fight's result should be overturned to a no contest. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like to help support the channel. McGregor's injury against Max Holloway was one of the saddest comeback stories of all time. And it didn't get any better for the people who bet on Conor to shock the world and win against Max. They practically watched their money disintegrate into thin air within seconds. Well, Conor went on Instagram and posted on his story, 1. I will have the results of the scan on my leg tomorrow. 2. The fight should be a no contest and all bets returned. Now, while people who bet on Conor surely wish that it would be overturned, the only time a fight that ends in a no contest from injury is when the injury is caused by an illegal strike or an accident like a clash of heads or low blows. If a fighter gets injured while performing their own strike or defending a strike, or in Conor's case, jumping out of the gate like an adrenaline-pumped maniac, jumping and flying through the air, landing on his knee wrong, then it's completely your fault. And if the fight ends, then it's declared a TKO loss. So to everyone who lost money on their bets, don't hold your breath expecting a refund. But the good news is that Conor's scan results are coming in today. And let's just hope that it's only a minor injury with a few weeks of downtime so that he can get back to training and hopefully prepare a better game plan for the next fight. Possibly taking into account the fact that he's nearly 40 and his tendons aren't getting any younger. So maybe less acrobatics and more technique. After all, Conor's technique is what made his fighting so special. Next, let's talk about the middleweight division. Dricus du Plessis says Nassourdine Imavov got punished by the UFC. All signs are pointing to Nassourdine Imavov getting passed over for the middleweight title again. And recently, Dricus du Plessis outlined why he thinks Imavov's in the UFC's doghouse. Although he's won 5 straight and holds wins over middleweight stars and contenders like Israel Adesanya, Kyle Bracke, and Brendan Allen, he's not been booked for a title shot. And more recently, there's been considerable talk that the UFC is going to move forward with Sean Strickland Khamzat Chimaev 2 and not have Imavov face Strickland. During Media Day, DDP was asked why he thinks Imavov keeps getting passed over, and he theorized it's because he annoyed the UFC by saying that he didn't want to fight Chimaev. Here's the clip. The UFC don't like it when. We've seen it even with guys, Merab and Aljamain refuses to fight each other. I understand that point, but the UFC wants the best guys to fight each other, and that makes sense too from a business point of view. If everybody knows these are the 2 best guys, they need to fight. So with Nassourdine Imavov saying, no, me and Khamzat are brothers, I'm not going to fight him. The UFC does not like that. It is an interesting theory, but earlier this year, Imavov claimed that a fight with Khamzat didn't happen because at the time Khamzat was injured. And you don't need to be a straight-A student in business school to understand that the UFC has not gone with Imavov because Strickland versus Chimaev has and will generate way more money for the company. All that aside, as UFC OKC approaches, DDP is ranked number 2 in the UFC media rankings. But despite that, and despite his theory about Imavov, he doesn't think a win over Usman will necessarily move the needle. He needs a spectacular victory to show he's the best in the world. Here's what he had to say. I don't believe a victory alone can be enough, you know. I think my resume definitely, but I don't believe that just a victory over Usman necessarily gives me that direct title shot. The performance, going out there and putting up a performance that eliminates any doubt that I'm the best in the world, that's what's going to guarantee me another shot at that title. If Strickland beats Khamzat again in the rematch, and if DDP finishes Usman in devastating fashion, well, he could be in business. After all, Dricus has beaten Strickland twice. It goes without saying that Saturday's fight is also a big one for Kamaru. After all, he's pushing 40 and has recorded just 1 win since 2021. So while talking with John Bernard Kadyrov recently, DDP was asked if he thinks Usman will retire if he loses on Saturday. He said, probably. It always depends on the beating, doesn't it? So it can be for him. He's done it all. He's done as good as he's going to do in the UFC. On his run, he's never going to be where he was. It's not possible. There's not enough time left. So for him right now, he's chasing maybe trying to get that double champ status. I think that's the only thing that he can still chase. And listen, the man has had a legendary career. On stats, he's the best welterweight ever. On stats, he's in that conversation for sure. It's between him and GSP, who is the greatest welterweight ever, and deserving so. He's been dominant for many, many years. So yeah, it's an honor to fight him. 100% middleweights are a different game. Not surprisingly, Kamaru sounds pretty confident he will not be taking an L on Saturday, and that more big opportunities will become available soon. While talking about why he took the DDP fight at Media Day and whether he's committed to a run at 185, Usman said this: "I'm a money-weight fighter now, so if it's up at welterweight, I'll do it. If it's up at middleweight, I'll do it. If it's up at light heavyweight, I might do it. I wouldn't say this division is easier. I think it just made sense. I obviously wanted the Islam Makhachev fight. We talked about that. I thought that's what was going to be next. Unfortunately, in things like this, the company has a big say in this, and they felt this was an opportunity. Obviously, I've been up here before and fought the former champion. This one just made sense at this time." As UFC OKC approaches, Kamaru is a fair-size underdog on the betting lines. But while appearing on Paramount Plus recently, Chael Sonnen outlined why he thinks that's ridiculous. He said it's a terrible matchup for Dricus du Plessis. Look, Dricus didn't just lose his last fight, he lost his last 5 rounds, all by the way to a superior wrestler. Kamaru Usman is a national champion wrestler. Everybody forgets that. Kamaru Usman definitely can win this fight. Do you agree? Will size play more of a factor in this matchup? Looks like a favorable size difference for Dricus when they squared off. Justin Gaethje not interested in Paddy Pimblett fight. Paddy Pimblett may have stolen the show at UFC 329 by quickly taking care of Benoit Saint-Denis, but that doesn't mean Justin Gaethje is thinking about running it back with him. In fact, it sounds like the lightweight king is dead set against it. Chael Sonnen says Paddy Pimblett versus Max Holloway could be next. Khabib talks about Islam Makhachev versus Ian Gary at UFC 331. Khabib says his grappling is better now than before. Firas Zahabi says Khabib would have beaten Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje same night. UFC updates. Alex Pereira not happy with a fighter being released from the UFC. Josh Hokett reacts to Alex Pereira's comment. Another UFC fighter released from the UFC. Huge UFC fights announced. Cody Garbrandt releases a statement following UFC 329 loss. I was honestly shocked when I found out how much everyone made at the latest UFC 329 event. Make sure to subscribe and hit the like button to support the channel. Let's dive right in. Robert Whittaker's payout included a $25,000 base purse, a $21,000 finish bonus, and a guaranteed salary of $370,000. Altogether, Robert walked away with an estimated $395,000 to $446,000. Meanwhile, his opponent Nikita Krylov earned around $90,000 to $95,000. King Green earned $321,000. Brandon Royval made $371,000. Mario Bautista received $321,000. Cody Garbrandt earned $221,000. Paddy Pimblett, who spent only a few minutes in the cage, reportedly made a total of $621,000. Keep in mind that this information was collected from different sources across the internet, so some of the numbers may not be completely accurate. His opponent, Benoit Saint-Denis, reportedly earned $521,000 after spending only a few seconds in the octagon before the fight ended. So, the fighters from the main event who finished their fights within seconds, without even having the chance to truly start, ended up making more money than everyone else combined. Conor McGregor earned a total of $30 million for one fight, including PPV points. Honestly, we could all use just $1 million. If I ever got that kind of money, I would definitely give away $100,000 among my subscribers. So make sure to subscribe. You never know what can happen. Conor's opponent, Max Holloway, who showed incredible respect and professionalism both before and after the fight, earned $3 million for the bout, plus a $21,000 compliance payment. Guys, this is absolutely insane. For now, check out my original video about Avatar, the hero who saved all nations from the firebenders.
Water. Earth. Fire. Air. Long ago, the 4 nations lived together in harmony.
Then, everything changed when Fire Nation attacked.
Only the Avatar, master of all 4 elements, could stop them. But when world needed him most,
he appeared and beat all the shit out of the Fire Nation.
Make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and follow the channel for new videos. Fresh content drops every day.